Ever wonder how manipulation became an integral part of some business practices? In the dynamic realm of business, manipulation has become a topic of heated discussion. It's a concept that walks a fine line, often tiptoeing into the territory of the unethical and the immoral. But what exactly is manipulation? At its core, manipulation is the act of skillfully controlling or influencing others, often to one's own advantage. It's about bending reality, creating a mirage that guides actions and decisions. Manipulation is not inherently evil. In fact, it can be used to inspire, motivate, and drive positive change. However, it's the malicious use of this tool that casts it under a dark shadow. When used unethically, manipulation can lead to misinformation, deception, and loss of trust, thus earning its notorious reputation. Where do we see manipulation in business? The answer is everywhere. From the labyrinthine corridors of corporate giants to the bustling startups, manipulation can be found lurking, often disguised under the cloak of strategic moves or persuasive tactics. Marketing, for instance, is an industry that is often criticized for its manipulative tactics, spinning narratives to make products and services seem more appealing than they are. The financial sector, too, is no stranger to manipulation, with numerous cases of stock market manipulation, insider trading, and financial fraud making headlines over the years. Then there's the tech industry, where data manipulation has become a pressing concern, raising questions about privacy rights and the ethical use of personal information. However, it's important to remember that not all businesses resort to manipulation. Many uphold ethical values and maintain transparency with their stakeholders. But the prevalence and potential harm of manipulative practices cannot be ignored. As we navigate the complex landscape of business, it becomes crucial to understand the role manipulation plays, how it is used, and most importantly, how it can affect us. Because in the end, knowledge is power, and being aware of manipulation can help us make informed decisions and safeguard our interests. Let's delve deeper into the world of manipulation in business and find out how it can affect us. One of the most notorious examples of manipulation in business is the Volkswagen emissions scandal. In the early 2010s, Volkswagen, a well-respected global automaker, found itself embroiled in a scandal of epic proportions. The company was accused of rigging their diesel engines to pass emissions tests, a practice that was not just unethical, but also illegal. Here's what happened. During routine testing, Volkswagen's diesel cars were found to emit pollutants within acceptable levels. But when these same vehicles were driven under real-world conditions, they spewed out up to 40 times the permitted levels of harmful nitrogen oxides. How did they manage to fool the tests? Well, Volkswagen had engineered a defeat device, a piece of software that could detect when a car was being tested and temporarily reduce its emissions. Once back on the road, the emissions would skyrocket again. When this manipulation came to light, the fallout was immediate and far-reaching. Volkswagen faced legal action from governments worldwide, resulting in hefty fines that ran into billions of dollars. The company's reputation took a severe hit. And let's not forget the environmental impact of the extra pollutants released into the atmosphere. But the story doesn't end there. The scandal also led to a significant shakeup in Volkswagen's leadership, with several top executives resigning or being fired. The company was forced to recall millions of cars worldwide, a logistical nightmare that cost it dearly. Moreover, it had to deal with lawsuits from disgruntled customers and investors, further straining its finances. In the end, Volkswagen's attempt to manipulate the system didn't just cost it money. It damaged the company's credibility, undermined its relationships with customers and stakeholders, and left a dark stain on its corporate history. This case illustrates how manipulation can lead to disastrous results. It's a stark reminder that while the allure of short-term gains can be tempting, the long-term consequences of unethical practices can be devastating. It's a lesson that all businesses, regardless of their size or industry, would do well to remember. Another infamous case of manipulation is the Facebook Cambridge Analytica data scandal. Here we delve into an incident that rocked the digital world, where the data of millions of Facebook users was manipulated and exploited for political advertising. In the heart of the scandal was Cambridge Analytica, a political consulting firm which harvested the personal data of up to 87 million Facebook users without their explicit consent. This data, rich in user likes, shares, and even private messages, was then utilized to create highly targeted political advertising. The method was astoundingly effective, yet alarmingly invasive. By analyzing users' data, Cambridge Analytica could predict and influence their choices. They created personalized political advertisements that played on people's fears, hopes, and beliefs. This was not simply a case of selling products, but a manipulation of democratic processes. Facebook, the social media giant, was caught in the spotlight, accused of failing to protect its users' data. The fallout was enormous. Facebook's CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, was summoned to testify before Congress, and the company faced a severe backlash from users and regulators worldwide. The scandal raised critical questions about privacy and the power of tech companies. Facebook was supposed to be a platform for connecting with friends, sharing memories, and discovering new ideas. But the scandal revealed a darker side. It showed how the platform could be exploited, how personal data could be used not just for targeted ads, but for influencing political outcomes. The breach of trust was profound. Users felt betrayed. They questioned the safety of their data and their privacy. The trust between Facebook and its users was severely damaged. The company lost approximately $100 billion in market value. The scandal served as a wake-up call, sparking debates about data privacy and leading to stricter data protection regulations. This case shows how manipulation can harm trust and relationships with consumers. It underscores the importance of ethical business practices, not just in maintaining consumer trust, but in upholding the values of our society. It reminds us that businesses have a responsibility, not just to their shareholders, but to their users, their consumers, and the wider society. It's a lesson for all businesses. Manipulation might offer short-term gains, but it can lead to long-term damage. What happens when manipulation goes wrong? This is a question that many businesses grapple with, often too late, after they've stumbled down the slippery slope of unethical practices. When manipulation is unearthed, the first casualty is always the reputation. A business's reputation is its lifeblood, painstakingly built over time. Once tainted, it's an uphill battle to regain the lost trust. Consumers, stakeholders, partners, they all start to question the integrity of the business. This is a blow that can take years, even decades, to recover from, if at all. Then comes the financial fallout. The market doesn't take kindly to manipulation, and the resulting mistrust can lead to plummeting stock prices. Investors pull back, revenues decline, and the financial stability of the business is rocked. The money spent on damage control, legal fees, and fines can reach astronomical levels, further straining the already beleaguered finances. Legal repercussions often follow. Lawsuits can be filed by consumers, shareholders, and regulatory bodies. These can result in heavy penalties and fines, sometimes running into billions of dollars. Not to mention, the legal process can be a long and arduous journey, draining resources and casting a long shadow over the business. But perhaps the most damaging consequence of manipulation is the loss of consumer trust. Trust is the cornerstone of any business relationship. Once broken, it's incredibly hard to rebuild. Consumers may choose to take their business elsewhere, and attracting new customers becomes increasingly difficult. This loss of trust can extend beyond the manipulating business, casting doubt on the entire industry. So, what's the takeaway? Manipulation in business is a high-risk game with devastating consequences. It's a short-term strategy with long-term impacts that can cripple a business's growth and survival. It's not just about the immediate fallout. The ripple effects can last for years, even decades. The fallout from manipulation can be severe, damaging not just a business's bottom line, but also its very existence. Remember, the cost of doing business ethically is always cheaper than the price of manipulation. So, what's the alternative to manipulation in business? The answer is simple yet profound: ethical business practices. Ethics in business isn't just about following laws or regulations. It's about recognizing the impact our actions have on the world around us and making decisions that respect and value all stakeholders. This approach may seem challenging in our competitive world, but it's far from impossible. Let's consider the case of Patagonia, the outdoor clothing and gear company. Unlike many businesses that prioritize profits at any cost, Patagonia has made a commitment to environmental sustainability. They use recycled materials, donate a portion of their profits to environmental causes, and even encourage customers to buy fewer of their products in order to reduce waste. This approach hasn't hampered their success. In fact, it's built them a loyal customer base that respects their values and chooses their products over those of less ethical competitors. Similarly, the British retailer John Lewis is known for its ethical business practices. They operate under a partnership model where all employees are partners and share in the profits. This model fosters a culture of mutual respect and shared responsibility, which in turn promotes ethical decision-making at all levels. The result? A company that's not only successful but also respected and admired. The tech giant Microsoft also provides a great example. They've established a robust ethical framework, which includes transparency, respect for human rights, and a commitment to reducing their environmental impact. This ethical approach has enhanced their reputation and helped them maintain a leading position in the tech industry. These examples show that businesses can achieve success without resorting to manipulation. By choosing the ethical path, they build trust and loyalty among consumers, employees, and the wider community. They prove that success based on manipulation is short-lived, while success based on ethical practices is sustainable and rewarding in the long run. Remember, ethical business practices not only build trust and loyalty among consumers, but they also contribute to a business's long-term success. Let's strive for a world where manipulation is a thing of the past and ethical business becomes the norm.